Welcome to Spare Talk. Today is Friday, October the 18th, 2024, and here's another edition of the This Day in Bowling History. And let's get down to business. Our first news item is from the Portsmouth Daily Times from the year 1942. Headline goes, "Duck pins is new recreation for GAC prospects." High school girls now may bowl duck pins on school teams. Points for the Girls Athletic Association may be made from duck pins on the same rating as 10 pins. Duck pins is a miniature version of regular bowling. The pins are smaller and the ball measures only 4 inches in diameter. Of course, the duck pinner knows that the ball is actually 4 7/8 to 5 inches. But we can let that slide. The article continues, girls wishing to sign up for duck pins may do so on the bulletin board at the girls' gym between Monday and November the 1st. Next item is from the Sunday Home News from New Brunswick, New Jersey. Pro bowlers hit in Japan. From the Tokyo Associated Press, it starts with a quotation. "Wow, they're terrific. I wish I could bowl like them," an enthused Japanese youth stated. 10 pins, and as simple as that, remarked his companion. That was the typical reaction of Japanese bowling enthusiasts who daily packed a 400-capacity Tokyo bowling center to watch 8 American bowlers in the U.S. Professional Bowlers Association's Tokyo Tour last week. 10-pin bowling has gained popularity in Japan only in recent years, and Japanese bowlers, pro and amateur alike, have much to learn from the Americans. Dick Weber of St. Louis, a $100,000 a year earner, and 7 fellow pros took part in the $16,000 Japan Gold Cup tourney to demonstrate their skills to Japanese fans. They competed only among themselves because there were no Japanese participants. Japanese spectators, who paid $1.39 for the standing room only section to $8.33 for the best seats, were enthralled as the Americans took turns to show complete ball control. Excited fans applauded, cheered, and occasionally sighed at the 48-lane Shimotakado Star Lanes Bowling Center. It was the PBA's 3rd Tokyo tour, following tours in 1968 and 1969. Don Johnson of Akron, Ohio won the first tour, and Dick Ritker of Hartford, Wisconsin won the second. Johnson was the early leader in the latest tour. Competing with Weber and Johnson were Ritker, Dave Sutar of Gilroy, California, Dave Davis of Miami, Florida, Jim Stefanich of Joliet, Illinois, Don Glover of Bakersfield, California, and Carmen Salvino of Chicago. Weber, a 40-year-old father of 4, attributes his success to the fact that he was born at the right time. Competition is much tougher now, and the younger generation is taking over professional bowling, he says. Weber, who owns 32 bowling lanes in the United States, said Japanese bowling lanes are generally in good shape. Here's a short piece from 1941 in the Rutland Daily Herald. And the title of the article is just Along the 10-Pin Trail. However, this is a candlepin story. From all parts of the country come announcements of the opening of bigger and better bowling establishments. Each new alley seems to be more spacious and luxurious than others before it. The Fairgrounds Recreation, Detroit, however, has the most lanes on one floor. 70 fairways greet the bowler with loudspeaker system, electric eye foul line, and the latest device for setting pins, one pin boy taking care of 4 alleys. The largest candlepin establishment in the country is operated The largest candlepin establishment in the country is operated by old baseball umpire Jack Stafford of Boston, 72 lanes under one roof. I guess our viewing audience saw the master of the house a few moments ago, Jaden the cat. He's actually pretty smart. I've taught him how to play checkers, but he's not too good at that game. I've beaten him 9 out of 10 times. But we'll press on with this day in bowling history. Here's another short piece from Fresno, California, entitled Brunswick Duckpin Men Issue Challenge. Charlie Kemper of the Brunswick Stars has issued a challenge to anyone in the state for an individual duckpin match. The Brunswick team also issues a challenge to any 5 men in the state at duckpins, 5 games to be played at the Brunswick Alleys and 5 games at the Foreman Alleys. Arthur Corlew, manager of the Brunswick Alleys, announced yesterday that at least 2 teams will be entered in the big bowling tournament to be held on the Foreman Alleys Saturday and Sunday. Many of the state's best bowlers will be here at that time. The Brunswick bowlers are also going to boost hard for the 1919 tournament for Fresno. Here's a story from the Daily Republican from the year 1900. 10 pins and 10-pin balls. Their manufacture and cost. Bowling more popular than ever is the subtitle. 10 pins are made of rock maple and cost $3.50 a set. That is $3.50 a set. They formerly cost more, but with a greater demand and increased sales prices have been reduced. Standing in the window of a dealer in this city is a 10-pin of bird's eye maple, which is beautiful and attracts much attention. And bird's eye maple would be a good wood for 10 pins, but it costs twice as much as rock maple, or more, and the beauty spots would scarcely be visible from the other end of a 70-foot alley. The regulation 10-pin is 15 inches high and 15 inches in circumference at the largest part, and 2 1/4 inches in diameter at the base. Pins are sometimes made shorter and sometimes longer and bigger for family alleys, but 15 inches is the regulation height. 10-pin balls are sometimes made of rosewood, sometimes of maple, but lignum vitae is the best wood for 10-pin balls. Bowling is more popular in this country than ever before. Up to about 15 years ago, the majority of bowlers were Germans. Now, bowling alleys are provided in many clubs, and there are more public and private alleys than ever, especially at seaside and country residences, where there are to be found alleys elaborately fitted up with fine woods. From the year 1903, from the Inter-Ocean news publication, bowlers face a serious question. The subtitle reads, Violations of Weighted Ball and 3 Club Rules to Test the Strength of the Chicago Association. Plenty of interesting developments are promised the followers of bowling at the meeting of the Chicago Bowling Association to be held this afternoon at the Masonic Temple. The association is the local governing body, being a branch of the American Bowling Congress. While it was organized last spring, it has been nothing more or less than a temporary affair, but at today's session the annual assessment must be paid, and the CBA, Chicago Bowling Association, will become a permanent and stable association. The local season has now arrived at a stage where all of the clubs have been framed for the year, and a great many of last season's organizations have been succeeded by new teams. Defunct clubs will be dropped from the CBA, and those which have not already joined must get in line if they wish to be recognized by the national organization. Bowling presents a rather novel situation this season, as it is the first time in local history that there is a set of special rules to govern the play. A rule passed by the American Bowling Congress last spring at the Indianapolis Convention limits the weight of a ball to 16½ pounds. And, on top of that, the local council limits the players to playing in 3 leagues. The first named rule as to the weight of the ball has been generally disregarded by a great many local leagues on the outskirts, while it is rumored that several players are rolling in more than 3 leagues and under assumed names. Here's an ad from the Evening Standard, a Pennsylvania publication from the year 1961, and it targets women. And it just says, "Women, free 10-pin lunch and bowling, Wednesday afternoons from 12:30 to 2 p.m. Well, this ran for 3 weeks, October 25th, November 1st, and November the 8th. It says, free 10-pin bowling clinic. Women of all ages, if you would like to bowl and do not know how, or whatever the reason, accept this invitation to free bowling at the Fix Bowling Center. Free shoes, free lanes, free instructions. You will be our guests, also free souvenirs. From the moment you walk into the Fix Bowling Center, you will begin to relax. You become part of a gay picnic atmosphere. The first thing you notice, that people of all ages are having fun. Many doctors recommend 10-pin bowling for health and relaxation. Try 10-pin bowling yourself. It's good for the nerves, but most of all, it's plain good fun." And from the Washington Post, from the year 1914, title goes, "Duck pins reach high mark of favor here, Scholastic Athletics." And the subtitle reads, "Bowling is a popular pastime in Washington. Duck pins have almost annihilated big maples." It certainly is almost one continuous clash of the mineralite and the maple. Washington has gone clean crazy on the bowling game, and there is probably no other city in the country of the same size as the seat of national government that supports as many distinct organizations. This applies especially to duck pins, which have practically eliminated 10 pins, there being only 2 leagues now rolling the ladder style. Every night in the week, except Saturday, as a general rule, at least 25 circuits have teams in action, and sometimes the number is in excess of this. While the season cannot as yet be termed as in full swing, nearly 30 organizations have their schedules well underway, but at that, new leagues are springing up so fast that it is hard to keep track of them. And finally, a short snippet. This is not really a news article, but it's an advertisement to illustrate the cost of equipment back in the year 1963, as reported in the News Journal of Ohio. There's a listing that says, "Get your famous ebonite bowling ball at 5 Cousins discount price," which they have listed at $18.88. It says, have it custom fitted, drilled and initialed in our pro shop while you wait. Get it today, bowl with it tonight. Tornado model is designed for better control, perfect balance. Lustrous black, 12 to 16 pounds. And interestingly enough, there's a advertisement for bowling bags. It says, ladies and men's bowling bags, $2.33. And it says, rugged vinyl ones that carry your bowling gear easily, comfortably, assorted colors. So that's about it for today. It wasn't a big day for bowling news, but still pretty interesting tidbits. So if you like the video, you can hit the subscribe button to be notified of when the next video comes out or future videos. Have a good day or evening, and hope to see you in the next day or so. Take care.